My fork scraped against porcelain. The sound echoed in the silence. 5 empty chairs stared back at me, untouched glasses sparkling under the restaurant lights like a mockery. I raised my champagne flute. Alone. The waiter approached quietly, slipping a folded note beside my plate. His eyes flickered with something unspoken, then he walked away. I unfolded it. 3 words in block letters. "Check your phones, now." And I smiled. Once there had been love, or at least the illusion of it. He, my husband, was the kind of man who knew how to take a room in his hands and make it laugh. When we met, he said I had the kind of face people remembered. He kissed me like I was oxygen. And my best friend Anna had been there the night he proposed. She cried harder than I did. My sister clapped until her palms were red. That night I thought I had everything: love, loyalty, family. Fools see gold where there is only foil. It started with silence. Not absence, not yet, just a change. Late nights disguised as deadlines. A phone flipped screen down. His scent replaced by a perfume I didn't wear. I told myself I was imagining things. I'd rather be paranoid than broken. But paranoia becomes proof if you're patient enough. One night, his phone buzzed on the counter while he showered. A single message lit the screen. "I miss your mouth." I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I simply turned off the stove, wiped my hands on a towel, and sat in the dark until he came out. That was the moment I stopped being his wife and started being his enemy. They thought I didn't know, that I was blind, fragile, too trusting to see. I let them believe it. I played the part. The dutiful spouse, the laughing sister, the loyal friend. I let them weave their tangled little web tighter until the strands cut their own skin. In the quiet of the night, I studied every document. I rerouted every bank statement. I learned who really owned what, whose name was tied to whose account, and how easy it was to sever bonds when the blade was legal and clean. He had put our home in both our names. His mistake. Anna had borrowed money from me years ago, a favor she never repaid. Her mistake. My sister had used me as her alibi on more than one occasion. Her mistake. They had all underestimated me. That was their greatest mistake of all. So I set the table. 6 seats. Me, my husband, my best friend, my sister, their excuses, and my silence. I sent the invitations. Birthday dinner, 7 o'clock. Don't be late. They didn't come. Of course they didn't. They had other plans. Plans they thought were hidden. A celebration of their own. But their phones were with them. Always. And that was all I needed. I had timed it carefully. A scheduled message sent to each of them at exactly 7:45 p.m. Just as I lifted my glass, just as the waiter slipped me the note, they opened their screens in unison, though I couldn't see them. I didn't have to. I could feel the panic across the city like electricity in the air, because each of them received a link. And behind that link, photos. Dozens of them. Videos, too. Every kiss, every hotel room, every lie they'd ever told me, documented and compiled into a single damning gallery. But not just sent to them, no. Sent to their colleagues, their families, their spouses, their bosses. One click, and their perfect little secret became public property. I raised my champagne again. This time, the bubbles tasted like victory. My phone buzzed. Calls, messages, desperate apologies, panicked explanations. I didn't answer. The waiter brought the cake. 6 candles, unlit. I blew them out anyway. When I walked out of the restaurant, the night air was sharp and clean. I left the bill paid in his account. Fitting, since the money was no longer his, it was mine. By the time I reached home, he was waiting, his face pale, his hands trembling. "You ruined me," he whispered. I looked at him, really looked at him. For the first time in years, he wasn't larger than life. He was small, pathetic, A man stripped bare of his illusions. "No," I said softly. "You ruined yourself. I just handed you the mirror." The divorce papers had already been filed. He would sign them tonight. He had no choice. With the evidence, with the finances shifted, with every door closed to him, he was cornered. Anna had already been fired from her job. My sister's marriage shattered within hours. The three of them had built their fortress out of lies, and I had simply removed the keystone. They collapsed on their own. Now I sit in silence, in a house that is finally mine, and I feel something I haven't felt in years. Not grief, not anger, peace. Because justice doesn't need noise. It doesn't need a scream, or a fight, or a scene. Justice is a quiet dinner for one, a champagne glass raised to the sound of shattering lives. They thought they broke me, but I was never the broken one. I was the storm, waiting, and I chose the perfect night to strike.